Alright, this tactic is actually broken. In just my second season with West Ham, we didn't just win the Premier League, we also dominated Europe and lifted the Champions League trophy too. What started as a simple idea turned into a system that destroys every team in its way. Goals flying in, clean sheets stacking up, and players performing way above the level. Today, I'll break it all down for you guys. The shape, the roles, and the small tweaks that I made to make this tactic unstoppable on Football Manager 26. Before we get into the tactic, I just want to show you guys how we did in the competitions that we played in this season. And of course, I said we won the Premier League, but we won it with 97 points, winning 30 games, drawing 7 and only losing 1. Scoring 101 goals and only conceding 34 and having a goal difference of 67. So it's actually quite amazing what we achieved in just second season in the Prem with West Ham. And then the Champions League, on the other hand, in the league phase, we also won that with 21 points, winning 7 and only losing by 1, scoring 27 goals and only conceding 9 goals. And just take a look at all the teams we finished above. Yeah, it's unreal. In round of 16, we knocked out Real Madrid, keeping 2 clean sheets against them. Quarterfinals, face Spurs, a tougher game, but we come out with 3-2 on aggregate. Semi-final, we beat Bayern Munich 5-1, guys. Bayern Munich, insane. And in the final, we beat Manchester City 2-0. And the amount of goals that our players score this season is actually outrageous. 34 goals with Karim Konate, 27 goals with Alexander Rising-Lillicet, Jared Bowen and Samuel on 21. And then we got Just King on 18. And here is the tactic that made everything possible. A 4-2-3-1 in possession and a more kind of way of a 4-3-3 out of possession. If we start with the in possession tactic, we have Dennis Seaman in goal, being a ball playing goalkeeper since he's good on the ball. You can also be playing as a goalkeeper, really depends on what your players is best at. The 2 center backs we have is Alexander Ribeiro and Jean-Claude Todibo, being on ball playing center backs since they're good on the ball. But again, it's down to personal preferences for your players. I've also had players playing as center backs and it works just as fine, so really not much big of a difference. But on the left and right back, we are playing with wing backs. Make sure that your wing backs is having semi-good crossing, like 13 or above, having good stamina and just being good going forward. And for their instructions, they stay wide on the pitch, which allows the team to stretch out the opponent's back line, and I'll get to that in a minute. For shooting, shoot less often and crosses from the byline. And if you haven't tried it so far in this year's FM, then try it. It's insane. Going forward and having the ball, they go to the back line and cross it to your striker or wingers, and it's just an open goal nearly every time. Just try and play with it and then you can see what I mean. In defensive midfield, we got Martel and Baleba. Martel is a defensive midfielder on shoot less often, and Baleba is on deep line playmaker on shoot less often. And that comes the fun part. Matheus Fernandes is on a free role, which is a new player role in this game, and it works wonders for me so far. Having him to make more runs going forward, freedom of movement, keeping on room for position. This tactic is very much based on having that freedom and creativity on the pitch to allow your players to play their game how they want to play the game. Okay, it's working wonders for me so far, and I really hope it also will for you guys. For the wingers, we are having Somerville and Bowen being on white forwards. Again, a new role in this year's FM, I think. And what this actually do is that your wing is staying wide on the pitch and making runs in the pitch when the opportunity arises. And this actually works better than the inside forward, which is a third thing, but just try it, please. Okay, you can also keep a winger on one of them that's better dribbling on the ball, have better technical attributes. And you can see Sommel has 16 dribbling, but again, he has 13 first touch and 14 technique. So if you want to play with a winger, be careful, because he has to have good technical attributes for them to actually perform really good. And for the play instructions, they are stay wider, but when they get the ball, they cut inside with it and they dribble more and shoot less often, also cross from the byline. And that's the instruction for the both wingers. Up front, you got Karim Konate being a channel forward, which is also a new role in this year's game. You could also play with a center forward and a poacher, but channel forward works wonders in this formation, and also how on the philosophy we are playing. And for his player roles, he is make more runs and shoot less often. When we have this on, it makes the plays rather go for a pass than shooting if the opportunity is right, and just makes you score more goals. So why not play with it? For that position, we are having a goalkeeper as a sweep keeper. Again, it comes down to personal preferences on your goalkeeper, but since Dennis Seaman has good reflexes and one-on-ones, having him as super keeper works wonders. He's such a good goalkeeper. Then we got Alexander Ribeiro and Jean-Claude Todibo being on center backs. You could also play with stopping center back, but the thing is that it steps up from the back line, which makes the opponent's attackers just use that space to benefit and scoring goals that way, which you don't want to. Diouf and Coyote, our fullbacks, is just being played as fullbacks, and yeah, really simple. And they're both on tackle harder. Now comes to the defensive midfielders positions, and here you want to have your defensive midfielder that has the best aggression, strength, and tackling to be a pressing defensive midfielder, because when you're pressing high up the pitch, which we are, you want to have that defensive midfielder pressing the striker or the cam as soon as he receives the ball. So just put it on. It had helped wonderful for me. Eric Martel is on tackle harder, and Baleba is on trigger more press more often and tackle harder also. Now the fun part comes. Matheus Fernandes has been playing as a pressing central midfielder. I've seen loads of people having their cam just staying in this position when they're out of position, but the thing is that when your two defensive midfielders are defending, they are sitting in the box, which means that the space outside of the box right here is just open. The opponent's players can just sit right here, receive the ball, take a shot on goal, and eventually score some goals from that way, which we don't want to concede that way, as it's pretty, yeah, it's just annoying to concede goals like that. And Matheus Fernandes, he actually prevents this because he is being the player who's outside the box here and pressing the player who gets the ball, so we don't get them shots on target, and he is also on tackle harder. And for your two wingers, just keep them in their position. I've seen people having their wingers tracking back, so they play as left mid and right mid being out of position. But the thing is with me, when I've been playing this season, is that my wingers get easily so tired. They're on half stamina at half time, which you don't want to, because then they can play like 5 to 10 minutes more, and then I got to sub them out because they're too tired. Because as soon as you lose the ball, the team obviously switch to the out of possession tactics, which means that your wingers would directly track down to being a left mid and right mid no matter what, and they just pretty much just waste their energy that way, which is not a good thing. And keep on tracking wing, and I'll show you guys in a second also why. And up front you got your striker being in a central outlet center forward that stays high and ready for the counter attacks. And again, your wingers must trigger press more often and tackle harder. The next thing comes that a lot of the creators out there is not showing you for how you should be defending, but I am. You want your wingers to mark the opponent's wingbacks, fullbacks, whatever they play with. You want your left winger to mark the defender right, and your right winger to mark the defender left. Okay, very important. And then for Karim Konate, you just want to trigger press more often and tackle harder. For the in position instructions in the overview tab, you want to keep the passing directness on shorter, and for tempo you want to put it on higher. I've seen some of you guys out there putting on much higher, but when playing with this, you eventually lose the ball way more often, and we don't want that. We want to keep the ball and get as much out of position as possible, so please keep it on higher. Attacking width are much wider, so we stretch out the opponents, as I've mentioned before. Attacking transition, keep it on counter attacks. And here comes creative freedom, keep it on more expressive. This allows your players to get their freedom in their role, trying to get out the structure that you're playing and allow this creativity on the pitch to happen, which is incredible. And we are playing for set pieces since we have good players for set pieces. And if you're a team that is not that good on set pieces, tap on keep ball in position. For the build-up phase, you want to keep it on play through press. We want to take short goal kicks, balanced goalkeeper distribution, and keep the goalkeeper distribution on center backs. I've seen some people putting on fullback, but when you're doing this, you can see how high up the pitch that our fullbacks is pushing up when we receive the ball in possession. And for a goalkeeper to make them passes to them, they easily just get pressed with 2 or 3 men and we lose possession that way. So just keep it on center backs. From the progression tab, we want to keep the supporting runs on overlap both flanks, not underlap both flanks. We want to keep it on overlap. Then we want to encourage our players to dribble more, progress through balance and not through the middle or from the flanks. Want to keep the pass reception and pass into space. If you guys haven't tried it, put it on, okay? It works wonders for me in this game, and especially with this tactic that creates more freedom and holes in the opponent's back line that the players can run into, lane that pass or ringers run behind at the back. It just looks so good in the game. Please just try it. And for the final third tab, we want to keep dribbling on encourage, work the ball into the box. Want to discourage shot from distance, since I've seen so many times that my defensive midfielders just take unnecessary shots from outside the box box. You just built it over the goal, and we don't want that. And the crossing style, want to keep it on low crosses, unless if you have a tall striker in the box like Jokic or Samuel Morodian, some type of player like that. For the out of position overview tab, we want to play with a high press, defensive line on higher, and the defensive line behavior on balance. Trigger press on more often. I've seen some guys also putting much more often, and only do this if you're behind in the game. And I've actually tried to have much more often in the games, and I cannot really tell you the difference. They still press the same way. For the defensive transition, keep it on counter press, and tackling, keep it on standard. I've seen some of you guys putting it on get stuck in, but unless you want to play the Brexit kind of way of football, getting stuck in those challenges and picking up yellow and red cards, then you can play with it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And for the high press, we want to turn short goalkeeper distribution on yes. This means that your striker, in my case it's Konate, you press the goalkeeper to prevent him from playing out from the back and just having to smash the ball upside the pitch, and players can win the ball back on the headers and that way win possession back. I hope this helps you win more games in FM and really achieve your goals, as it have done wonders for me. If you like this video and I watched until now, I would really appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button, as it will help me grow here on YouTube, and like the video. And then I have nothing more to say, then I'll see you guys in the next one.